I did it. I stood up. Are we happy? There. You are welcome. Thanks, V. Have I done multi at once? You have evidence of that all over the internet, my friend. The answer is yes. I will not marry you, random person with a purple icon. What? Why would I say yes? So silly. How do I keep work and personal relationships separate and without causing rifts? Strong boundaries and lots of communication. Like, we literally have written boundaries so that it's very, very clear. And then complete transparency and honesty when it comes to, like, so if he gets a message about someone wanting to work with him, or I get a message about it, or I get a shoot booked, or he gets like somebody asking him stuff, like, we share those with each other. And so, like, just, we're very well aware of each other's actions when it comes to anything like sexual with anybody else. Nice logic. I do not have kids. Aw, foolish goats. It is me. That is correct. All right, I'm trying to keep up, but it's hard, and that's what she said. Am I in recovery? You know, I've been sober, so alcohol was kind of my issue. The thing is, though, it was never a physiological addiction, thank God. I think that's really difficult, and I feel really lucky that it was never, like, I don't see alcohol and go like, oh, I just want a sip of that. If I get started drinking and I get tipsy, and the whole point is to feel something, right? I don't care about the taste of it. So if I start drinking and I get tipsy, I won't stop. And I don't know where the line is, depending on the day, on my sleep, on what I've eaten, any of that. I don't know where the line is of blacking out, right? And so I couldn't control, even though I tried to for years, I couldn't control, be like rude to someone, especially in my 20s. I was like kind of like rude, or, you know, I would be with somebody that I wouldn't have wanted to be with otherwise, you know, if I were sober. And so enough of those instances, and realizing that I couldn't negotiate it, I couldn't control it. I finally came on the decision that I had to stop, or else I would ruin a relationship, you know, and I haven't missed it. So I feel like people who are alcoholics, which I guess I may be, that you're like, you take it one day at a time and you're always in recovery. And for me, it was like a light switch, and I feel very fortunate with that. So that when I decided it was done, it was done. And I just have never, I think maybe twice in the last 6 years, I've been like, like, it would be kind of fun to have a drink right now. But that's as far as it goes. So yeah, I guess I didn't really answer your question, but you have to Google me, 1W. Thanks, Chris. I am having a lovely evening. What do my parents think of my career? So in my third pinned video with the blue dress, you can have that question answered for you. It's kind of like my origin story in the industry, how my parents reacted when I came out to them about it a couple years after I had started, because I felt so terrible about lying about what I did. And I was really happy. So I was like, well, I mean, it can't be that bad. Spoiler alert, it was with one parent, and then the other one has been supportive. So not thrilled, but supportive. So I'm coming live from Washington State. Thanks, Sheep. I appreciate that. Do I ever watch my own videos for my own enjoyment, or is it weird? I've watched them back, like some of them, to be like, cool, or I looked like that, or like, ooh, I look like that, you know, but I don't watch them for pleasure. It feels like, and I think other people are different with this, but to me personally, it feels way too, for lack of a better term, ego stroking. It feels like it's weird. It's like, yeah, me, I'm so hot. Like, it's just, I can't do it. So I'm just like, that's good. Good for me. I also don't watch like videos of people like I've been with either. Usually, I don't know. I like anonymous people when I look up things for that. That's a good question though, Buwan. I like that one. So I'm not in a polyamorous relationship. So the relationship that I'm in is that we both maybe work with other people or will do stuff. We're each other's person. And then everything else is casual or work related. So not poly. I have no interest in being poly. It's not really my thing. Yeah, Sean. Yes, those are on Wednesday nights. And you can find that site by Googling my name because I cannot link it here. So, Sean, that's funny. Hi, Sean. Thanks, Gemini. Wonder what those guys would do if you said yes. I don't remember what I was talking about then, but and you get to the moment and they are so in their head that like other heads won't work. It happens like 70% of the time. It's such a bummer. Will you, Greg? Yes. Yeah, Chris, communications are always key. I like that you said you have it written down as well. I have to give credit to my partner is Link Ryan. Let's write it down and we have it in a shared note of like our boundaries. And I think that's great. So. John Wharton, I just found that. Oh, congratulations, Fred. That's amazing. Sober 16 years. That's cool. My dad has been sober, I think 33 years now. And so he's a really big inspiration for me when I was like, oh, can I do this? And I looked at him who has a similar sort of thing to me when it comes to like, not necessarily the physiological addiction aspect of it, but he went through AA and did all that. And I'm like, if he can do it, then I can do it. Right. Onion soup. Sean, I'm not going to play some music because when I play music, then my internet doesn't work. Unless you mean me playing music. Thanks, Coastal Cowboy. Appreciate it, Gerald. Do I like sports? Strokemon is an interesting movie. So I showed up to so many good things like that. I did a couple of theirs and I just played Nurse Joy. So I didn't have like an intimate part in it. I just had like some lines. And I got on set or to the studio and the girl that played Pokemon was already in full makeup and it was horrifying. And she was like, I don't usually look like this. I know what I look like. So it was really fun. Did you, David? Is all of my professional work the rough stuff? It usually tends toward that, honestly, because it's what I prefer. I would say like the actual stuff that happens after the wrestling itself isn't very rough. Like that's pretty tame for me. So. Is your last name Locke? Right. Yes. The name that I chose for myself for this industry, is it Folsom? What is it called? Okay, so how often do corn stars wax? I went to a waxing place one time. I actually wanted to do a TikTok about it. I have only waxed down there one time ever. Usually just cheap conditioner and a men's razor works perfectly for me. Also have videos of that places. Anyway, she had great Yelp reviews. This was back in LA when I lived in LA. I went to do it and it was like this chocolate wax. And so she's doing it and it hurts like all hell. And she keeps saying she's almost done, but she's not almost done. She missed a ton of like little spots and she ripped skin from right above where you don't want skin to be ripped. And so the next morning I was frustrated. And so I wrote like a review that just was very factual, not emotionally charged. And she called me the next morning. And then by noon that day, there were 4 additional pages of Yelp reviews, all different emails that were positive. So she had just, pumped up the reviews. Anyway, I've never gotten waxed again. I was probably like 19. It was rough. I do YM mask, I think. You just have to Google my name, Sophia Locke, and you can find it. Yeah. How did I come up with my stage name? Thank you, Dylan. I don't know if I can dance. I have rhythm, but I don't think I'm a very good dancer. How did I come up with my stage name? Sophia was a name that I always loved and thought was beautiful, and that if I ever had kids, I was like, I would name them Sophia. Clearly a terrible idea now. And then I was kind of into Lost at the time. I was 25, so it was like 11 years ago. I was into the show Lost, and the character on there, John Locke, I was like, okay, this is an actual last name. It kind of is a nod to my BDSM interests. So why? It's funny because girls pick names, or whatever, people pick names for different reasons. Sometimes they're punny or silly. I wanted one that you could Google me and find me, but a lot of other, especially cam girls, want a name that if you Google it, you'll find tons of people and not her. So I made the choice to make one that was a little bit easier to find. So some people don't want to be in their quiet corner of the internet. Clearly, I'm not trying to be in a quiet corner of the internet anymore. So, yeah. Here for the Bone Thug story. I told it. I have never gotten more hate on any video than I did on my Bone Thugs and Harmony story. I was like, I'm just telling you what happened. And people were like, you lie. How dare you? I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, I like that one, smartass. Okay, I just figured out your name. Got my beard waxed off in the army so I wouldn't have to shave in the field. Worst idea ever. No, I'm not scared to wrestle you. I just don't do in-person services. But thank you for the idea. It's nice. I don't know Mandingo. I've never worked with him. Thanks, Brady. To you too. Did I slap her? No. That's very nice of you to say, BW. I appreciate that. Thanks, TNT. Do I have a count of many guys? No, I'm a virgin. I don't even know how does it work? Will you show me? How do I deal with all the perverts? Doesn't it get old? Nah, I've been dealing with you guys since 1972. No. Oh God, 11 years. Why can't I do math? 2009, or wait, 2009? Ooh, is that right? Shit. They need to be closer together. Yeah, that's what a bra's for, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to wear one. I don't have any other wrestling matches coming up. No. Not right now.